Since we now know the release of the Daima DLC for Kakarot being the July-September window, that has to ask, what are we going to get till then? And I think the most obvious answer is the Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 Future Saga DLC Pack 3. This is the perfect window for Xenoverse 2's 4 to 6 month DLC gap that they can fit DLC Pack 3 into. It's just before Sparking Zero and Kakarot's DLC are predicted to go live. This is probably about the time where we get the Xenoverse 2 DLC. Keep in mind, they announced the trailer and then it comes out like immediately after that. That's how the Xenoverse 2 DLCs roll now. Hello everyone, it's me again, Steve Doja here, back to more Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, and I wanted to talk really quick about Xenoverse 2's release date schedule. We had Future Saga Chapter 1 back in May for 2024, then we had the second pack in November, and it seems like we're coming back around to having it released in May again for DLC Pack 3, and then potentially for November, December for DLC Pack 4 for, 2025, right? And the reason I say this is because, one, we have not got the Dragon Ball Sparking Zero DLC. We don't have any idea when it's going to happen, and we don't know Sparking Zero's released windows yet either. The greatest chance for Xenoverse 2 to get its DLC pack window, it's going to probably roll around to when DLC Future Saga Chapter 1 came out, which is perfect. It's going to be just before the Kakarot DLC, and keep in mind, they don't like releasing the DLCs next to each other. So we're dropping May, could actually keep it away from that July-September window that, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot's going to be having their DLC. And then naturally Sparking Zero will probably go after Kakarot, maybe for a release in October or November. And Xenoverse 2 did release right next to Sparking Zero, so I don't think they would be too ashamed to release another. Xenoverse 2's DLC did release like a month after Sparking Zero, so Sparking Zero has its second DLC in October, which would mean it takes a full year to get 2 DLCs for Sparking Zero. That would work fine with Xenoverse 2. Xenoverse 2 released its last DLC literally only like a few weeks after Sparking Zero launched. And then that went off without a hitch. I mean, it wasn't the most popular DLC, but they seem to like doing that. So it's safe to say we could still get 2 Xenoverse 2 DLCs this year. The last 2, which would be Future Saga Chapter 3 and Future Saga Chapter 4. But I want to more so talk about Chapter 3 because that's the way more important one. That's the one that's coming up next. That's probably the best part about seeing the Kakarot Daima leaks. It's not really a leak, it was actually just revealed by Bandai Namco themselves. But seeing the actual predicted window for when the DLC would come out gives you a good idea of how the rest of the year is going to shape up. Since we have a small idea of what month the DLC is coming out, again, it's between that like July to September window. That means that there is one DLC that can definitely release before it, which is not Sparking Zero's. I don't believe Sparking Zero could make Daima DLC Pack 1 that fast with the amount of characters they'd put in. They'd be putting in Vegeta Mini, which would mean him having Super Saiyan, potentially Super Saiyan 2 and Super Saiyan 3. They'd be putting in Glorio, they'd add Goku's Super Saiyan forms in, and any other potential fighters they need to add in from the Daima arc. Maybe Tamagami 3 even might make it in, That's a lot of characters. For Xenoverse 2, on the other hand, they only have to do 4 characters, and Xenoverse 2 does the bare minimum. I think they could release a DLC before the Kakarot DLC comes out, and then naturally, after the Kakarot DLC comes out, then Sparking Zero would get DLC Pack 1 for Daima, and Xenoverse 2 would get Future Saga Chapter 4, either again during the very tail end of the year, like November, December, or potentially just the beginning of next year, like February, because Xenoverse 2 DLCs love to come out in February, or they at least like to be really late in February, so yeah. Now, what do I think we'll get with Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 Future Saga Chapter 3? Well, again, I think Dragon Ball Super Broly, Ultra Super Villain is basically guaranteed. I don't know if he'll be Wrathful mode or not, but they'll probably just do Full Power Broly, Ultra Super Villain, and then the new character would probably also just be Broly Wrathful that goes Super Saiyan. The same way how, again, they've added transforming characters before. They feel a bit more confident to add transforming characters at least. So I could see Wrathful Broly going Super Saiyan being a DLC character. It could mirror how we got Z Broly who goes Super Saiyan as well. So that would work. And not to mention, DBS characters are always Ultra Super Villains. I feel like they'll do Ultra Super Villain Frieza last. Because, again, DBS characters have been the Ultra Super Villains. We got Jiren from the Tournament of Power. We got Goku Black from the Goku Black arc. The only thing left would be to get Broly, who's another DBS antagonist. And Hit doesn't really work as one, despite the fact that Xenoverse devs love to glaze Hit. So I'm going to say Frieza, because Frieza is, again, the main Dragon Ball villain. And it would kind of tie in with Dragon Ball Breaker's stupid Golden Frieza Raider for no reason. So, 2 years after Dragon Ball Breaker's releases, they think people are hyped for a Golden Frieza Raider. I don't get it. But Golden Frieza is a character that, just like DBS Broly, is missing moves. He doesn't have all of his moves actually in the game yet. Goku Black has every single move in the game now, with his Scythe being added to the game. And Jiren has his last move available in the game, which is the move he used to beat Ultra Instinct Goku in a Beam Clash, which is his new ultimate attack, Full Power Destruction. Golden Frieza is still missing like Great Death Beam, True Death Beam, Earthbreaker, all of these other moves, and Wrathful Broly is still missing stuff like Planet Crusher, and a bunch of like different other variant attacks he uses throughout the entire movie. So I think those could work as characters, not to mention the very obvious Daima collab character they'll have to add because, Daima's the trending anime, so they have to add the characters from Daima. They already added Daima Goku in base form. He's still Japanese only for some reason, but that he is in the game. So I think they're gonna go for characters who have not been added yet, which is again, you know, Wrathful Broly, who can turn into a Super Saiyan, Ultra Super Villain Full Power Broly, because why not? And then obviously maybe Daima Vegeta this time around that goes Super Saiyan 3 only because it's his most popular form. And again, this will be Kid Vegeta because I only imagine he'll add the adults in the final DLC. Because I joined a room with 2 people having a conversation. I just wanted to have extra stuff in the background while I was doing the recording for the video. And I've just joined the room with 2 people. Oh, whatever, it's fine. I could still do the commentary for this. I just wanted to have stuff in the background while I was explaining what I think could happen for the next Daima DLC. Now, I don't feel like I need to say this. This is all obviously speculation as a video. The closest I have to proof is the fact that I'm usually always right about Dragon Ball. I just want to say that I'm kind of always correct. I predict Super Saiyan 4 Daima, like literally episode 1 the moment I saw how they turned into kids. It's kind of, you know, it's kind of obvious, but I feel like this is probably the best thing for Bandai Namco to do because again, they don't release DLCs alongside each other for any of the games. Fighters and Xenoverse 2 never really got DLCs ever releasing alongside each other. The closest they could get is within the same month, like the beginning of February and the end of February. I remember a time like that, but again, Xenoverse 2 just likes releasing in February for some reason. So the things I can predict again for the DLC is they'll probably release sometime in May, because that's the closest we've got, especially with Xenoverse 2's release window of doing a DLC like every 4 to 6 months. We're reaching that 6 month mark. How many months? We're reaching that 6 month mark. And that's probably the best time for them to release the DLC. It'd be way before Kakarot's DLC. People would be able to play the Xenoverse 2 DLC to its completion and experience all the content unlock, all the moves for their characters, and do all the things they want to do. And then by the time they're done with all of that, boom, they got, you know, Dragon Ball Kakarot DLC around the corner. Then by the time they're done doing the Kakarot story, which would literally just be a story mode, it won't take too long for most people to complete it, then Sparking Zeros can release right after that. Now, Dragon Ball Daima is kind of in a rough place where the anime is going to be over by the time all the stuff releases, which is, you know, that's a long time to wait. Remember, we got UI Goku like immediately in Xenoverse 2 by the time the anime was over, which is, again, credit to Xenoverse 2 for being that quick. But we got UI Goku immediately after the anime ended, and only for like, games like Fighters and stuff did you have to wait a bit to get him, since he was part of a season with Jiren, and everyone knew, obviously, if Jiren's in the season, then UI Goku will be in the season. All we have to do is wait. But with Daima, we already know that they're always going to be in the second DLC packs. It's like all these games announced that they have 2 more DLCs coming for the express purpose to tease. Kakarot's like, oh, hey, the Daima DLC will be in 2 parts. Sparking Zero's like, oh, the Daima DLC will be in 2 parts. Xenoverse 2 is like, we have 2 more DLCs and we added the Daima character in the last one. So you guess how many characters are gonna, guess how many Daima characters are gonna be in this one. You know, it feels like all the games intentionally planned to have a 2-part DLC because they all knew Super Saiyan 4 was coming and they want to save them for the last DLC. It's weird that they would make us wait that long while having that kind of level of planning done, but that's the way Xenoverse 2 rolls sometimes, I guess. It's just, Xenoverse 2 is just a weird game, alright? But yeah, one could cope about the status of Dragon Ball games right now when it comes to their DLC release dates, which is Red Ribbon Army Soldier as an NPC they put in this game. Am I high? I don't think I've ever seen this before. It's probably just like a male Earthling, completely covered head to toe. But I think this is such a cool way to do a new enemy type. That's really sick. I didn't even notice that. Red Ribbon Army Soldier. That like obviously it's probably just a cack covered head to toe, right? Obviously, but I think this is nice. I wish Xenoverse 2 used its creativity more like that. Hopefully that's the kind of stuff we'll see in the DLC. We'll actually see Xenoverse 2 not be scared to use its creativity. Because who's to say? It's weird that Sparking Zero doesn't have a real Dragon Ball game story. Xenoverse 2 does. But Sparking Zero has real what-if scenarios for a Dragon Ball game, and Xenoverse 2 doesn't. That's just weird to me. I feel like it should be the other way around. I feel like Sparking Zero should have the real Dragon Ball game, and then Xenoverse 2 should be the what-if game. But I don't know, man. Dragon Ball games, they just be doing whatever they like over there. Either way, I think this is probably a great place to end the video, guys. I do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you didn't, obviously, again, please, God, leave a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe, and leave a comment down below as to what you'd like to see next. And that'll be it. I do love you all. I hope you fellas all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Take care, and peace.